If you're here, it means you love movies, and that makes two of us. As you and I both know, movie magic doesn't end with the credits. Our favorite films are loaded with hidden tricks and intriguing trivia that can be juicier than the movie itself. From the pioneer of toilet shots to crazy directors, today we're looking at the surprising facts we know you love to learn. Just remember, with great trivia comes great responsibility. I'm Mike with List 25, and here are 25 surprising facts about popular movies that you never knew. 25. Scream was originally titled Scary Movie. Have you ever heard that Scream was almost called Scary Movie? Aside from the title of this entry. Talk about a title that doesn't scream horror. Wes Craven initially rejected the script twice, wanting to escape the genre, but the name Scary Movie lured him in. Imagine his surprise when, thanks to a Michael Jackson song and a Weinstein whim, it got swapped for Scream. Okay, it sounds terrible now, but Scary Movie could have given the Wayans brothers a run for their money, right? 24. Paul Schrader wrote Taxi Driver in 5 days. Crazy, right? Rumor has it that he was fueled by instant noodles and some serious firepower. If Hollywood is to be believed, he had a loaded gun for inspiration and motivation next to his typewriter. So Travis Bickle's on-screen intensity might have actually had a touch of real-life inspiration. And did you know the iconic "You Talking to Me" wasn't even in the script? Robert De Niro improvised it while practicing on the streets, and director Martin Scorsese loved it so much, he kept it in. 23. Disney turned down the chance to make Back to the Future, claiming the mother-son moment was too risque. Can you imagine a world without Marty McFly, Biff, Doc's mind-bending inventions, or that iconic "Great Scott" expression? Believe it or not, that almost happened. Back to the Future, the time-traveling trilogy, was rejected almost 40 times before making it to our screens. Studios found the whole teen and his mom thing too risque. Thankfully, Universal Pictures took a chance on the flux capacitor, and the rest is cinematic history. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba. Oh, what a great score. Alvin Silvestri, if I'm correct. 22. The original script for Ghostbusters looked a bit different. Dan Aykroyd's original script saw the Ghostbusters in a distant future where ghostbusting was an everyday occurrence. Not firehouse heroes, more like exterminators for the everyday, as common as plumbers and paramedics. Our heroes would have been calibrating proton packs in the local Home Depot and cleaning up Slimer's slime after pizza parties. The alternate Ghostbusters never materialized, but one question remains. Would you call them, even if they were more like the friendly neighborhood pest control? This is just gonna be theme songs all night. 21. James Bond's formative years. We all know who James Bond is, but how did the super spy come to be? Raised by a Scottish father and Swiss mother in both Germany and Switzerland, he had an average but comfortable childhood until tragedy struck at age 11. Losing his parents in a climbing accident, he found a new home with the Oberhausers, shaping the skills that would make him legendary. By 17, his spirit craved service, leading him to a stellar military career. This brilliance caught the eye of MI6, recruiting him at 30, and just like that, the suave secret agent 007 was born, forever thrilling us with his six-pack abs and irresistible charm. Twenty. The creator of the Jason Bourne series died before he could see the movies. Robert Ludlum only started writing seriously around the age of 30. Before that, he worked as an actor and theater producer, which significantly influenced his later writing style. In fact, Ludlum didn't publish his first novel, The Scarlatti Inheritance, until 1971, making him a late bloomer in the literary world. While he wrote 3 Bourne novels, he never got to see his creation on the big screen. He passed away in 2001 at the age of 73, while the first film was still in post-production. 19. Viggo Mortenson's son convinced him to play Aragorn in Lord of the Rings. If women didn't have a crush on Viggo Mortensen before Lord of the Rings, his incredible portrayal of Aragorn definitely sealed the deal. Despite initially declining the role, his son's ardent love for Tolkien's work played an important part in his eventual acceptance. A passionate plea of, "Dad, this is the greatest story ever!" proved persuasive, nudging Mortenson to embrace the epic journey that would mesmerize audiences worldwide. Ba-da-bum. Ba-ba-da-bum-bum-bum. Ba-da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-dun-dun-dun. Ba-ba-ba-da-ba. Ba-da-bum. Sorry, it's just gonna be theme songs all day. You asked for this somehow. 18. Sean Connery turned down so many parts. His legend lives on, but so do the what-ifs. Sean Connery, the king of charisma, straight up snubbed iconic roles in The Matrix, Lord of the Rings, Jurassic Park, and, if rumors are to be believed, even Blade Runner. Gandalf's wisdom? Pass. T-Rex Whisperer? Pfft, nah. Neo's mentor? Not today. But hey, the man knew his worth, and his perceptive decisions created a legacy far grander than any of the roles he turned down. Sean Connery doesn't have a theme song. It's the Bond theme song again. 17. Bill Murray as Batman? Bill Murray almost landed the role of Batman in the early 80s. Can you even imagine that? It would not have been the same. Director Ivan Reitman initially pitched a Batman film with Murray as the lead, aiming for a blend of action and offbeat humor. However, the project pivoted when Tim Burton took the helm, leading Michael Keaton to claim the iconic role. While Murray never had a chance, we're sure the concept is still tucked away somewhere in Hollywood. Who knows? Maybe we'll get to see Murray as a much, much older Batman in some alternate universe one day. I don't know what the theme song for Bill Murray's Batman would sound like. 16. A Premature Explosion. In the climax of Sergio Leone's 1966 western The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, Clint Eastwood and Eli Wallach's quest for buried gold at Sad Hill Cemetery is blocked by a bridge guarded by two opposing armies. The only option? Demolition. The bridge, built by Spanish Army engineers, was rigged with explosives and intended to be destroyed for the film. However, due to a technical issue, reportedly either a miscommunication or test explosion, it detonated prematurely. Luckily, the engineers were on hand to rebuild the bridge, which was promptly blown up again. On cue this time. 15. The Stuntman. Remember that brutal brawl between Edward Norton and Brad Pitt in Fight Club? The one that takes them tumbling down a seemingly endless staircase? Well, prepare to be floored. Director David Fincher, notorious for his exacting standards, reportedly made the stuntman fall down those stairs 12 times to capture the perfect shot. And guess what? He ended up using the very first take. Talk about commitment to the craft. 14. Alan Rickman's genuine shock in Die Hard. Did you know that Alan Rickman's unforgettable fall in Die Hard wasn't just acting, but a genuine reaction captured on camera? While clinging to Bruce Willis and Bonnie Bedelia, Rickman, as the villainous Hans Gruber, dangled 40 feet above a crash pad. He expected a countdown. But instead, the stunt coordinator cut the rope early at director John McTiernan's direction, capturing Rickman's raw fear and surprise for posterity. This unorthodox approach paid off, injecting genuine emotion into the scene and solidifying Rickman's performance as a cinematic classic. 13. The phrase Bada-Bing in The Godfather came from a real-life mobster. The Godfather gave us several unforgettable moments and quotes. I mean, I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse, anybody. But what must surely be one of the most badass facts about the movie is that Sonny Corleone's signature catchphrase, Bada-Bing, wasn't scripted. Actor James Caan, drawing inspiration from his acquaintance, real-life mobster Carmine Persico, ad-libbed the phrase to emphasize swift action or closure. How about that? Bada-Bing. It's probably not as cool when I say it. 12. Kate Winslet's nude in Titanic was drawn by James Cameron. You know that famous portrait drawn in the movie Titanic? Yeah, I'm talking about that one. In the iconic scene, Jack Dawson sketches a nude Rose DeWitt bouqueter. Did you know that the hand wielding the charcoal actually belongs to James Cameron himself, not Leonardo DiCaprio? A skilled artist, Cameron drew the portrait, titled The Heart of the Ocean, to infuse the scene with greater authenticity and personal connection. And in case you were wondering, Kate Winslet wore a bathing suit for reference photos, so the detail in the portrait is nothing more than Cameron's talent and imagination. Bum. I bet you thought I was going with Celine Dion there. No. 11. Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho was the first American film to show a flushing toilet. I'm not really a fan of old black and white movies. Am I not? But if you watched Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho, you might be surprised to learn that he didn't just scare the bejeebus out of everyone, he also dared to do something totally unheard of in cinema up to that point. Show a flushing toilet. Shocking, I know. But all sarcasm aside, it actually really was. It simply wasn't done in those days. Hitchcock's seemingly small act was a rebellion against Hollywood's outdated norms. In the process, he brought a gritty touch of realism to Psycho and opened the door for more honest and open filmmaking. 10. A Flatulent Moment gave us cinematic gold. The Usual Suspects, a film dripping with suspense, a labyrinth of twists and turns, and a bit of flatulence. Wait, what? That's right. The director Bryan Singer initially envisioned the lineup scene as a chilling moment of unveiling, but the set erupted in suppressed giggles when Del Toro let out a well-timed, or perhaps poorly timed, gust of wind. Instead of scrapping the scene, Singer saw an opportunity. The shared amusement fit perfectly with the film's themes of hidden alliances and unconventional bonds. He embraced the silliness, even incorporating the scene into the trailer and poster. 9. The real Frank Abagnale Jr. appears in Catch Me If You Can. Frank Abagnale Jr., portrayed by Leonardo DiCaprio in Catch Me If You Can, led a life straight out of a Hollywood script. Sort of. Even though Abagnale's claims about living as a doctor, pilot, and lawyer continue to be debated, one fact cannot be denied. Audiences loved the movie. But did you know that Abagnale wasn't just the film's subject? He made his very own cameo appearance. It's a blink and you'll miss it moment, but he played the French police officer who took Leo into custody. Spoilers. 8. Sigourney Weaver's Avatar cigarette is 100% CGI. Sigourney Weaver is a vocal anti-smoking advocate who wouldn't touch a cigarette on set. But her character, Dr. Grace Augustine, wouldn't be caught dead, pun intended, oh god, that's a dark pun, without one. So, CGI came to the rescue. Weaver expertly faked the action while the team of digital wizards created the perfect illusion in post-production. Such a good movie. It's my ringtone. 7. Christopher Waltz's son is a rabbi. I think we can all agree that Oscar winner Christopher Waltz is one of the best actors in Hollywood today. Not one to shy away from controversy, his on-screen characters, just think Inglourious Bastards and Django Unchained, often grapple with historical conflicts and prejudice. That's why it might surprise you to learn that he has a son, Leon Waltz, who pursued religious studies and currently serves as a rabbi in London. It just goes to show you really shouldn't judge a book by its cover. 6. The British rock cameos in Harry Potter. The Harry Potter movies weren't just full of wizards and wands. The producers also included secret cameos from British rock legends. In The Goblet of Fire, the original Weird Sisters were none other than Radiohead's Johnny Greenwood on guitar, Phil Selway on drums, alongside Pulp's Jarvis Cocker on vocals, and Steve Mackey on bass. The Prisoner of Azkaban featured a brief cameo from Ian Brown, frontman of the iconic Manchester band The Stone Roses. He was the wizard performing a bit of coffee conjuring magic at the Leaky Cauldron. 5. Everyone wanted a pet rat after Ratatouille. After Ratatouille's 2007 release, pet rat adoption rates soared in the US, Germany, and Sweden. In fact, pet chain Pets at Home reported a 50% increase in sales in the UK. At the same time, animal rights group Rat Planet in Britain warned of potential impulse adoptions later fading, something the facts don't support since numerous online pet shops and rescues still actively cater to pet rats in the UK, indicating continued demand. Though the exact number of Remy-inspired rat owners remains unknown, experts estimate a significant rise thanks solely to the film's portrayal of these intelligent animals. And the same thing happened with Pugs after Men in Black. Although I think that one was a little more sad. I think there were a lot more returns. There's a lot of impulse buying when it comes to animals and movies. So don't just get your child or buy yourself an animal just because you saw it in a movie. Make sure you can have and afford an animal first. Don't impulse buy another living being. 4. Toto earned more than the Munchkins in The Wizard of Oz. While The Wizard of Oz's Munchkins charmed audiences with their song and dance, Terry, the canine behind Toto, wagged his way to a richer paycheck. At $125 a week, he out-earned a lot of his human co-stars. According to the records, the actors who portrayed the Munchkins only earned around $50 per week. While some Munchkins had speaking roles and sang, others appeared only in background shots. Therefore, the figures varied, but never exceeded $100. Was it discrimination, sizeism, or just the way of Hollywood back then? You tell me. 3. Paranormal Activity is the most profitable film of all time. In the realm of cinematic profits, one Hollywood blockbuster reigns supreme. It wasn't a CGI-based action movie or a Middle-earth fantasy, but a low-budget ghost story, Paranormal Activity. Made for a mere $100,000, combining production and estimated marketing, this found-footage phenomenon haunted its way to a monstrous $89 million box office haul, shattering records with a 19,758% return on investment. That is absolutely insane. To put it into perspective, the second most profitable horror film, The Gallows, pales with a mere 6,843% ROI. 2. Kubrick was extremely difficult to please. A Clockwork Orange's iconic violence wasn't just on screen. Malcolm McDowell, playing Alex, also faced very real physical challenges. Apart from cracked ribs, he also ended up with a scratched cornea and temporary blindness. During the Ludovico technique, the disturbed fictional therapy scene fueled by Beethoven and flashing disturbing images, McDowell was required to keep his eyes pinned open under bright lights. Director Stanley Kubrick, known for his demanding perfectionism, promised a quick shoot of about 10 minutes, but the scene ended up lasting several hours. Apart from the temporary blindness, McDowell was also left physically and emotionally drained from the intense process. 1. The famous line from Gone with the Wind almost didn't make it to the big screen. Can you imagine Gone with the Wind without its iconic closing line, "Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn"? The cinematic gem almost faced the chopping block because of its unconventional wording. The then strict self-regulation rules, known as the Hays Code, considered it offensive. Producer David O. Selznick faced a dilemma: tone it down or gamble with the censors. Hilarious alternatives arose like, "I don't give a hoot" or "I don't give a straw." But Selznick recognized the line's power. He saw it not as vulgarity, but as reflecting Rhett's blunt frustration in the book. While other parts of the adaptation needed adjustments, including toning down swear words, Selznick knew this line was untouchable, and his gamble paid off. "Frankly, my dear" became the stuff of legend. So, what's a fact from your favorite movie? Let us know in the comments below. Also, don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any new content, and check out our social medias, including my personal ones. Links in that description below. And if you enjoyed this list, you will love the list we did on the 25 best movies ever we made a couple years ago, and I stand by our choices. Maybe, I haven't watched it recently. Anyway, if you want to go to that link, just click, if you want to go to that list, just click this link here. If you want to go to that link, click this list. Just click it. We'll watch movies together, kind of. You'll watch me talk about movies together.